Here's another rotator by Rotors by Scott. This is a tail twister. I just acquired this one off of eBay seller. Now I want to make one thing perfectly clear. When a person puts these pigtails on, it just comes out the bottom. You can see a little plate and a little gizmo underneath there. If you see that there's no, come on, focus. There's no nut on this side and it's a male pin. Do not build this with the retaining nut and the female pins. In other words, it does not come out of the rotator like that. Your male pins come out and it takes this connector, and then this, of course, is the mating connector that will screw onto here whenever you hook it up. So needless to say, I got this thing all built, and it wasn't too bad. Just a normal cleanup. Of course, these lower set of ball bearings were trashed just because they ran out of grease and got wet, but this is my test harness. I went to plug this thing in, and it's like I can't plug in a female connector to a female connector, so I had to whack that off, and he had, you can see how much cable he had off of it. So I just whacked it off and put the male pins and the right connector on it, and crimped them with the W crimping tool and soldered them. So yeah, this is just to let you know the male pins and that connector go on the rotator. The female pins and the connector with the retaining nut goes on your rotor cable. It's kind of wild because here's the instructions that the guy sent me, and it says 9-pin connector for rotator end of control cable. He did just the opposite. And I don't care what it says, front, side view. You always look at the numbers on the connector to connect them. So, needless to say, yeah, we had to do a little MacGyvering here before I could test this thing, because I always test them before I put them together. That way I can lube all the gears, make sure the potentiometer is good, and come on, everything. So basically I'm checking everything in it, lubing it before I even put the top on it and everything. And we're turning counterclockwise, and there it goes. I'm only going to take this up to north and then I'm going to stop, but the main reason for the video was to let everybody know how to put these 9-pin quick connectors on here. There we go. Yeah, but ugly test controller, okay. She is ugly. Anyway, no. You want to put the male ends and the other connector on that end. Okay. Just some information. And please don't put wheel bearing grease in this thing when you put it together. A little bit of information, better good of the hobby. Super Lube from Harbor Freight. This stuff is, let's see if I can find it here. 43, come on, focus. Negative 43 Celsius to 232 degrees Celsius. In other words, up here it says negative 45 degrees to 450. You can't get no better than that. You guys that use wheel bearing grease, white lube, or even peanut butter. Yeah, I took one of these apart one time, and I swear it was peanut butter in there. My solvent in my solvent tank would not even cut that stuff. It must not have been oil based. Had a hell of a time getting it off my brush. Anyway, there you go. We're coming up on 5 minutes and 35 seconds. And I always put flat washers in on each side of the bolt, so that's kind of like my trademark. Anyway, tail twister. Adios.